Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we have almost the very final reveals for Photon Hypernova. I think we have 8 cards here out of, I think, a possible 12. I think there's going to be 4 more cards that just aren't revealed yet. I don't even know if these are officially revealed. These are technically leaks, whatever. Pretty cool. We're going to go through these cards, read through them, see how they go, and then we're also going to take a look at the secret utility box here as well. Some cool cards here as well, some Synchron support, as well as some Dark Magician, a new Dark Magician fusion card, like kind of weird, but whatever. We'll take a look at those as well. So let's jump into it. We got a ton of cards to go through. Starting off here, we have Manticore of Smashing. I'm assuming this is a new variant of Manticore of Darkness, I think, or Madness. I can't remember what its full name is. It's a Fire Beast Warrior effect monster, level 6, 2300 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use both of his effects once per turn. During your main phase, you can add 1 Fissure or Smashing Ground from your deck to your hand. Wait, that's actually so cool. What the heck? This is really cool for like chaos drafts, right? This would be a really cool card if you're able to pick up Fissure or Smashing Ground earlier throughout the draft. That'd be really cool. Second effect, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish a Fissure or Smashing Ground from your hand or graveyard to special summon this card. That's really cool. You can get this card out, search a removal spell. When you use that removal spell, that pretty much allows this card to just come back for free. And if you play more, search more of them. That's a really funny card. I like that. I like that really a lot, actually. It's a cool card. All right, but nothing crazy competitively speaking. Next up here, we have Choju, the Trillion of the Trillion Hands. So this definitely gives me Manju and Senju vibes. It's a light fairy, level 6, 1400 attack, 1000 defense, even the same stats. But it's a level 6, which is weird. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can add a ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. Okay. It is a level 6, so you'd either have to be tribute summoning it or summoning out off of something else, but okay. Not sure about this one, to be honest. I don't know if there are combos that abuse this, but okay, cool. More ritual support, another generic ritual searcher. Next up here we have Silver Winged Axe Sari. I love her design. She looks really cool. I love her giant axe thing here. It's a light machine. Oh, machine effect monster. Level 3, 500 attack, 100 defense. You can only use one. Its effect once per turn. Quick effect. Target a face-up monster on the field. Equip this card from your hand or field to it as an equip spell that gives it 100 attack or defense. That's interesting. So I know this looks weird, but this is a way to get an technically an equip onto a monster, and it's any monster. It's a quick effect. This card could have weird synergy because monsters generally end up being more searchable than spells and traps in a lot of instances, especially ones that just don't have specific searchers. If you could just search a machine, search this card, and you need to just get something equipped, this could be funny. I mean, obviously the effect once it's equipped doesn't really do anything, but just to get something equipped is kind of interesting there, for sure. Interesting. Next up here we have Dimensional Isoallotope Varus. It's a light psychic tuner, level 1 tuner, 0/0 for the stats. Second effect's hard once per turn. He cannot be destroyed by battle with another monster with the same type and or attribute. Okay, cool. Second effect, you can declare one type and attribute. This card's type and attribute become the declared type and attribute until the end of the opponent's turn. Interesting. Okay, so it's a level 1 tuner. You can just declare any type and attribute, so that's pretty cool just to get you into maybe whatever specific materials you need. That's pretty funny. I don't know. This could come up at some point, maybe. I don't know. Really interesting card though. Okay. Nothing too crazy though so far. So far everything's been niche. Could maybe come up in a weird specific deck, but nothing crazy. Next up here we have a link to, this is Dynamond. This is the cool, what do you call this guy? Like a samurai almost, soldier guy. I love the way he looks. This is Dynamond, a Cyberse Link 2. It's Earth. It points up and down. 2200 attacks. Pretty good. Okay. First and second effects are hard once per turns. If this card is special summoned, you can target one card on the field and one ritual monster in your graveyard. Return both to the deck. Wow. Wow. Is this card? This card's just crazy in Drytron, right? This card just has to be insane in Drytron. It also makes me think of archetypes like the new one, the new ritual one, or Libromancers, a couple different archetypes. I know Libromancers don't put a ritual engrave as much. I mean, they can. They definitely can, but Drytron's definitely the first one that comes to mind. It's just Tribute Benten for a Drytron name. And you might already have materials for this. This is sweet removal, reload stuff back in a deck. Pretty spicy. Okay, sorry, second effect. During your opponent's turn, you contribute this card, then target a ritual, a quick effect. You tribute this card, then target a ritual monster in your grave. Either add it to your hand or special summon it. Holy crap. This card's just like a pretty insane ritual support. I'm assuming, I'm not too familiar with rituals, to be honest. I just don't have a ton of experience dueling with or against them. I'm assuming once you've correctly and officially summoned a ritual monster, this effect will be live to summon them back from grave. That's pretty cool. I mean, especially if it's just like a boss monster. Yeah, wow. Okay, this card's pretty freaking sweet. And it's 2200, and it's really... Okay, sorry, I skipped this part. This is my fault. I missed this. 2 monsters, including a ritual. So you do have to make it with a ritual, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to make, but that's still pretty decent. I think this card's pretty sweet. All right, moving on here. We have some traps. Weight measuring. If your opponent controls at least 2 more monsters than you do, they must send monsters they control to the graveyard, so they control only 1. Not so great. I mean, they do have to control 2 more monsters than you do, but if they only control 2, they only have to send 1 monster. They just keep the better one. If they said send everything, then maybe that's interesting to me. But I feel like the fact they still get to keep 1 is still not the greatest, and they get to pick, so they're just always going to keep the most important monster. Meh. I'm saying meh on that. Next up, we have a continuous trap. This is Red Vinegar Crossing. I love the name. Continuous trap. You can only control 1. If your opponent controls a card in this set card's column, you can activate this card. Return all other cards in its column to the hand. Okay, and the third... Wait. Return all other cards. Okay. And then unoccupied zones in this card's column cannot be used. The only thing I can think of for this that's like could be particularly strong in any way would be like if you link summoned or just summoned from the extract to your one of the EMZs, and then you would set this card in the other EMZ, so that way when your opponent tries to play, only really if they're on a link heavy strategy, you could technically use this to lock down their link zone. Or I'm sorry, the other EMZ, so that they can't link summon at all, but that's so matchup dependent, and it's a continuous. It can easily be popped. You know, it requires you to already be able to play. I don't know, like just not great, to be honest. The last one here we have is Threatening Ore Summonite. I love the artwork on this. This looks awesome. It's a normal trap. You can target 3 monsters in your graveyard. Choose one of them, then your opponent chooses one of these effects for you to apply. Special summon that monster or special summon as many of the other targets as possible. So just a pretty much just quick summon. It's pretty interesting where it's like I'm either reborning the best monster in my grave or you're going to let me reborn 2 others. It's pretty nice. I don't think it's horrible. I don't love that your opponent gets to pick which one you do. It takes setup. You know, I don't love cards that require you to be able to play. I mean, like, if you get hand trapped out the butthole, sometimes you're just not even going to put 3 monsters in grave. So I don't love that it takes setup. But it is an interesting card, but I think it's still more fun than anything else. So all in all, from this little wave here, I would say the most impressive thing is definitely Dynamond. I think I could easily see this card being like a legit playable Link 2 in a ritual deck. And we're seeing rituals get more and more support. They have so many good generic searchers. That when we see more ritual strategies that get faster and faster and are able to summon out rituals early in their turn super easily, make this card after it, and go from there. Like this gives you the ability to like quick summon a ritual on your opponent's turn, as well as on summon. You could even potentially just like send a card from your opponent's field back into the deck. So if you can play, it helps you play into boards. I think it's really cool. I think this card is like definitely a winner. A really cool card. Moving on from there, we have the last 2 cards here. We have this is the Secret Utility Box. This is an OCG set. I don't know when we'll get these imported, but it's still cool to see. So this is Dark Magician, the Magical Knight of Dragons. This is a level 8 Dark Dragon Fusion, 29-24 for the stats. Dark Magician plus any level 7 or higher dragon or warrior are the requirements for the summon. If your monster attacks a defensive position monster and inflict piercing, that's cool that that's all monsters you control pretty much get piercing, and he's already pretty big at 29. Second effect, once per turn, when your monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. That's pretty cool as well. So not only are you doing extra damage with piercing on your whole board, but you're also burning for whatever stat your opponent had on the field, attack-wise. It's pretty cool. And the third effect, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon a Dark Magician or a Gaia the Dragon Champion from your hand, deck, extra deck, and or graveyard. That's crazy, pretty much from anywhere. Does have to be destroyed. You can destroy it yourself to trigger that if you want. But, you know, fine. This card's fine to me. I just think they have better fusions. You're always making Dragoon over your making this card. So, yeah, I think it's fine. And then the last card here we have is Assault Synchron. New Synchron, this could be something. Level 2 Dark Machine Tuner. Ooh, that kind of gives me some Orcus vibes for sure. 700 attack, 0 defense. Both effects are hard once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, then take 700 damage. Just summon it. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck while you control this monster, except Synchros. Okay, so it does lock you from the extra deck into Synchros, but just while he's on the field. So you just need to use him to make a Synchro, and then he's out. So that's a pretty good extender just straight up. I think Synchrons will definitely appreciate this card already. Second effect, if a face-up dragon Synchro monster you control is tributed or banished, banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of those monsters and special summon it. Okay, cool. So maybe there's, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's some dragon boss monsters that would tribute themselves or banish themselves just to do their own effects, do an interruption, and this guy just says, like, come on back anyway. That's pretty cool. I wonder if there's any, like, non-hard ones per turn effects that, like, normally would tribute itself, banish itself, but you just get to get it right back to the field and use it again. Which would be pretty cool. But I think this card's just a pretty good extender. We don't see a lot of tuners that are actual good free extenders a lot of the time. But this card's pretty cool, and it's a Synchron, which gets it a little extra searchability in the deck. I think this card's actually pretty cool. I know Synchron decks definitely got destroyed by the ban list, losing Hulk and Chaos Ruler. But I think all things considered, this is a nice little card to take under the wing there. Hopefully we'll get it sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight and what we got here. We'll get the last 4 or 5 cards, whatever it is, probably tomorrow, because the set drops in the OCG on Saturday. So tomorrow's like the last day before the set's just straight up out. So I will bring you that when it comes. The link to, really cool for rituals. Everything else just kind of fun. Let me know if there's any other niche applications to any of these cards that I didn't catch here. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think on any of those other cards. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.